Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Shane, I'm doing great. It's good to be with you on this early morning, celebrating a Wichita Shockers win last night.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time to be in Wichita.
Yeah, you were at the game. And as we kind of welcome you in here and welcome a new day, there's a lot going on here. So what's on your agenda as you visit Wichita?
You know, it's a full couple days here. We're going to be over in Garden Plain doing a roundtable with the western third of Sedgwick County, inviting some folks in from Cheney and Goddard. Sometimes the smaller little outskirts don't feel like they get enough attention, so trying to pay them some attention.
Cool.
Meeting with several nonprofits today. We went to visit the Child Advocacy Center yesterday, just trying to keep our fingers on the pulse of what's happening here in the greater Wichita metropolitan area.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. Just to dive right into it, though, on the negative side of things here, a lot of crime. Fentanyl as well. Some things on the rise, some things not, though. What is your characterization of crime as it relates to fentanyl in Wichita?
Well, listen, crime is on the uptick across the country. I think the first thing I do would compliment your local law enforcement officers that they indeed are following it very closely as well. You know, my dad, the chief of police, taught me wherever there's drugs, there's going to be crime. And with this big uptick in fentanyl, there's just not going to be any thing to do but fight this crime back. But I think the most important thing I learned from that crime roundtable, though, is they're not going to arrest themselves out of it. Yeah. We've got to stop this porous open border that we have coming in from Mexico. 90% of this fentanyl coming in across our open southern border.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that here shortly. But first, shining a light on some things here in Wichita. Recently, we had the story of the Jackie Robinson statue that really just got so much attention, positive attention, and you're willing to give some positive attention to League 42 as well. At what point are you visiting them, or what are you doing with League 42?
Yeah, we're going to go visit them tonight during, I assume, a practice. Maybe they're having a practice game. You know, one of my good friends who played Major League Baseball said, you need to go meet Bob Lutz. And I remember reading his sports page growing up, and he's doing a great job with this League 42. You know, this in suburban baseball, it costs a fortune anymore. They expect you to show up with a $400 bat. Once upon a time, all you needed was a glove and a pair of jeans. So they're trying to make baseball affordable for everybody.
That's great. Did you play?
I did. I played football, basketball, baseball, track, all of them.
Yeah, different times, right?
Yeah, it was back at a time when you did all of them, but enjoyed great summers and coached all my boys, had some great times playing baseball.
There we go. All right, well, business at hand here as you return to Washington eventually here. A lot of the talk is around the Alejandro Mayorkas trial and for his role at the southern border. Now, this man was impeached, but that's not going to necessarily translate into a Senate trial. Is that right?
Yeah, unfortunately it won't. Look, Americans are demanding the impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas. He broke the law. He did not enforce the law. He broke his oath. The House has had their impeachment hearing, and they're going to bring those papers Wednesday to the Senate floor, where we should have a trial. But for the first time in American history, the leader of the Senate, Chuck Schumer, is going to table this process. So we're going to do everything we can to fight against tabling it. We think that America deserves an open hearing. Joe Biden needs to hear exactly what the results are of his open border. 300 Americans dying every day from fentanyl poisoning. But I'm afraid Schumer has the votes, and we're going to just table it. It'll be a 2-hour affair, done and over with, and off the front page.
Yeah, Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer and other Democrats would, of course, say that his actions don't amount to high crimes and misdemeanors. What would you say about that, how it would relate to actually an impeachment?
Look, I think he's broken the law. He's required by law to have a secure border, and no one can walk in here and say, oh, our border's secure. Number two is he's broke the law regarding what's called parole. So Joe Biden has paroled 2 million people. And he's done that illegally. The law requires him doing it one person at a time. He's doing it tens and 20 thousands of people at a time. Even under Barack Obama, he only paroled about 5,000 people in 4 years. Joe Biden paroled 2 million people, so he's abused that power, and Secretary Mayorkas should be held accountable.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of stories at the border, and of course it resonates with really everybody. Yeah. What's something that stands out to you, maybe a most shocking story, or something that you've seen that you said this needs to be fixed now?
Well, certainly there's a humanitarian crisis at the border. I've been there 4 times. Took some sheriffs from Kansas with me, rode along in some chase scenes, but it's the people they're exposing. You know, even just this week, one of the sheriffs told me they pulled over a truck and it had 20 illegal migrants in the back of it. And look, I'm sure that these are good people. Mm-hmm. For the most part, but they haven't been vetted. It's just the number of people that have been coming to this country illegally that have not been vetted, and just concerned about some terrorist event. And of course, again, losing 300 Americans every day to fentanyl poisoning is the tip of the spear.
Right, that is. Okay, a lot of work to be done here, but thanks so much for starting your day here on Good Morning Kansas.
Yeah, Shane, great to be with you. Good
All right.
morning.
Senator Roger Marshall there. We will be right back here with a look at your final forecast. Frank's